welcome back to Style by Olivia. So today's video is going to be all about what it's like to live abroad. If you watch my channel for a while, you can tell that I love traveling and I've lived abroad for a few years now, and I feel like this is a question that I get a lot, just like what's it like living abroad, what has your experience been like. So this video is going to be all about just my experience of living abroad and just my advice if you're planning on living abroad, if you are abroad, and just all that. So yeah, if you're new, welcome. I'm Olivia. Don't forget to subscribe. I put up new videos every single week just about lifestyle, travel, fashion, and my life abroad. So yeah, let's get started. First thing that I would say about living abroad is that there's constant confusion. You're kind of not used to what's going on. Culture shock is very real. I don't think people realize that, but like it's real. It can have an effect on you, and it's important to be aware of that. So I know for me, I was really comfortable in Paris being a tourist. I'd been there before. I had lived in Spain. I was like, yeah, living in Europe is going to be great. But it was still a huge adjustment, and I was confused all the time. My whole life was in French, Like, yeah, I spoke English at work and French at work, but everyday administrative stuff, my bank account, the doctor, everything was in French. So that was definitely an adjustment, and I had to get used to just being confused a lot. And it's like times 100 being in Hong Kong now, because I don't speak Chinese, I don't speak Mandarin or Cantonese. Yes, I speak English and French here, but like there's just a lot going on. So I think one important thing to remember if you are living abroad is that like it's okay to be confused. Like I spend like 90% of my life just confused or trying to figure things out or just having to like slow down and process things, and like that's completely normal. It took me like at least a year to like realize that, because I'd be so hard on myself, like, oh my goodness, why don't I understand this? Like, I'm a perfectionist. I'm like, why don't I get this? Why am I always confused? And it just takes a minute, just to get adjusted to being in a new environment. So like, this is your comfort zone, and like this is where I live. So it's obviously there's gonna be some time to adjusting. If you're constantly confused or living abroad or just feeling like, why do I never know what's going on? That's completely normal, and it's all part of the process. So the other huge thing, I think like the worst part about living abroad is just being so far away from my family and friends. That's literally like the part that sucks. Like it's absolutely the worst. Because everyone that I love is literally on the other side of the world. So I think making time for your friends and family is something that like you have to be really intentional about. It was a lot easier when I was in Paris because it was just like a 6 or 7 hour time difference. Now it's like 12 or 13, and it's like if I don't make time to talk to my friends or my family, like I just won't talk to them because I'm literally on the other side of the world. And also moving abroad, like you realize who's important in your life. You won't be able to keep up with everybody. Like being away, like I feel like I miss everything. I miss like day-to-day stuff. I miss big events. I miss birthdays. I miss parties. Like, but the people who like matter in your life, they're not gonna go anywhere. So I think those are the relationships that you have to like be intentional about. And I'm gonna do a whole video on this because that was definitely a question that I got. It's like, how do I maintain my relationships while I'm abroad? So I'm definitely going to do a whole video on that. But just being intentional about keeping up with the people in your life, because if you don't, it is so easy to just completely like lose track of everyone just being so far away. The next thing about living abroad would definitely be trying new things. It's really important, especially if you're in a place that's like completely different from your own culture, to try new things and to be open. I know sometimes, at least for me, so I'm only speaking from my experience, but living abroad, I'm so far outside of my comfort zone every day. Sometimes I'm like, well, no, I don't want to try a new food. I don't want to try a new, because my life is already constantly changing and so uncomfortable. I'm like, why do I have to try new things too? But forcing yourself to try new things, new experiences, meet new people is how you'll grow even more. So yeah, when it comes to trying new things, it's just, you have to put yourself out there. When it comes to food, experiences, everything, don't be afraid to try new things. Just because you are abroad, it doesn't mean, I definitely have my moments. So right now, the biggest thing that I miss is like the food in Paris. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going through withdrawal. It'll be easy for me to be like, okay, I want to go find a French restaurant here. I want to just stick to Western food, but I've been really trying to like branch out more when it comes to what I eat, and just trying new foods and being open to, trying more foods from Asia and new things, and it's been absolutely amazing. So I think it's important to remember to try new things as well. That's something that has helped me just to grow and to get used to like being abroad. Last but not least, I would say give yourself time. I think this is something that I still struggle with this every single day, but not being so hard on yourself, and like it takes time to process things. Like I was saying before, you are confused. Like living abroad is confusing, like point blank period. Like a very steep learning curve, and eventually you get there. Like I know now, like looking back on Paris, when I first moved there I was so confused, but now I go to Paris and it's like I feel like I'm home. Like it's like I don't miss a beat. So it definitely takes time. I still don't feel like that with Hong Kong yet. I'm getting there, but it takes time. You have to be patient with yourself and give yourself some credit. I feel like, at least for me, I'm so hard on myself. I'll be like, why don't I get this yet? You know, I should know this. I should be, you know, I should be able to handle all this stuff. And at least for me, I've noticed like it can be overwhelming, like especially living in Hong Kong. There's like 1 billion people here. Everyone is screaming. I don't speak the language. You know, it can be really overwhelming. And I think sometimes I forget that, and I'm like, oh wow, like why am I feeling overwhelmed right now? Or, you know, you have to just take time to pause and be like, no, like it's valid. Like I'm in a completely different country. There's a lot going on. I'm allowed to feel like overwhelmed or to need a minute and to pause. So whether you're in Hong Kong or Paris or just a new city and it feels overwhelming, like you're not alone. Like take time for yourself. Like don't forget to just be like, okay, I need a minute. Like it's okay. And aside from that, I guess just like a last, like as just like a final conclusion, I would say that living abroad is such an amazing experience. It really forces you to grow and to open up and to experience new things and new cultures. But it's also, I feel like, really glamorized sometimes, and it's not all glamorous. Like please do not for 1 second think that like living abroad means that like life is perfect and everything is like, you know, candy and sunshine and rainbows. It's like, it's still life, you know, like everything that you go through in your everyday life, like I still have to go through. I just happen to be like on the other side of the world, you know? And I think sometimes people forget that. I forget that, you know, just because you move away doesn't mean it's gonna solve all of your problems, you know? They will come with you. I've learned that. So no, I think it's just important to go into living abroad with like the right perspective and to just be open to whatever shows up in your life, because it truly is like the most amazing decision I've ever made, like ever.
This is unreal. It's literally been on my dream board to come here to see this, and I'm here in person seeing it. It's just so cool.
That's a little bit of advice and just what it's like to live abroad. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything else that you want to see from me or know just about life abroad. I'm definitely going to start doing more videos like this where I'm just sitting down talking to you guys about life abroad, what I'm doing, what I'm going through. So yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to see. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!